Hello and welcome back to Overland Trails. In our last episode, we camped out off of Montezuma Road just outside of Keystone. Much to our surprise, we woke up next to the Pennsylvania Mine, one of the most famous mines in the area. But after a hard night's sleep in the rain, we were glad to hit the road again, headed up Highway 9, and the scenery got quite a bit different as we left the mountain area and moved up into North Colorado. Once again, we found ourselves going through several cool little towns. This one is Saratoga, Wyoming. We had almost forgotten just how flat and desolate Wyoming can be. Until you get to the Grand Tetons and around the Berger Mountains and the Berger Forest, there's not much really to look at. As early as the 1800s, the Jackson Hole area was a prime spot for trappers because of the big fur trade industry. The town of Jackson was established and named after David Edward Jackson in 1894 after spending a winter on the shores of Lake Jackson. The first ski rope tow was built at Teton Pass in 1937, and the area has become known for its great skiing. Once we left Jackson, we started getting back into the mountains again. To keep things simple so we could see most of the park, we reserved a camp spot at Grovant Campground. This is where things got really interesting. Once we got checked in, we made our way down to the campsite that we had registered for, number 172D, and trust me, please avoid this campsite at all costs. You have no room to do anything. There is no way you can fold out your rooftop tent, or if you pitch a tent, it's going to be very small. We did a quick survey of the campsite and realized it basically is the size enough for a 4-man tent sleeping by the bathrooms between 2 trees and a walkway between the other campsites. So we hopped back into the Jeep, went back up to the office to talk to the staff to see if there was anything else that they could find. I have to say, the staff there is great. They do hold a few campsites back in reserve just for situations like this, and they were able to find us something that could accommodate our tent, and we got set up. Alrighty, we're at Grovant Campgrounds. We're going to take a walk down by the Snake River and just see what we can see. And hopefully we can see some moose or something like that. Check it out. Okay, now we're on the elusive hunt for the wild buffalo in the Grand Tetons National Park. We got the camera, we got the skill, now we shall find them.
And you have a fake accent.
I don't care. I'm on the road for the hunt. Well, we did find buffalo, but albeit really far away. With the buffalo herds migrating away from us, we went down the Mormons Road to try to get some of those bucket shots. As you can tell, the smoke was really bad from the forest fires, so the mountains weren't really that well in view behind us, so we did the best we could. We did happen to find some small pronghorn, and then a baby moose playing by the creek, which was pretty nice. After a long day of looking around at the park, looking for animals, we stopped by Dornan's to resupply and gas up and get ready for the next time we go out. And if you can't tell, I fell in love with this teepee. This place was a great stop as it had a good gas station, grocery store, a nice little souvenir shop, and chuck wagon. Day number 2 in the park, time to get ready with hot coffee and a big breakfast. What are we having for breakfast today, lady?
We are having smokies with scrambled eggs and biscuits. And the key to biscuits on top of a fire instead of in a Dutch oven or in an oven is to constantly turning them and watching them closely.
Best stuff ever.
Wish I had $1 for every time you said that on video.
And with a big breakfast, we're ready to go again. Join us next episode where we explore Jenny Lake and see if we actually find the elusive buffalo we've been looking for. Till then, we'll see you on the trails.